What's good, Facebook? What it do? Tap in with the tap in, man. Gonna do a little talking, whatever. No, it's Friday though. Good Friday. You know what I'm saying? Another Good Friday in the books. We done made it to see another, you know what I'm saying, blessed day that was not promised. Get a few eyes in there and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And, you know, get some good peaceful chop ups, you know what I'm saying, conversations, all that good stuff. Up here at the 3D print shop, getting it in. Y'all know Friday is my early day, so you know what I mean? I'm out this joint in a couple hours, 12 o'clock, you know, so figure out, you know, be getting on Fridays at 10 and just do what I do, man. What's good? Who all tapped in live with me, though, man? Let me know what's up. Say what's up to your boy. You know what I mean? Say what's up to your boy. So who on here with me, man? Y'all share the video, too, man. Y'all share the vid. You know what I mean? And y'all know. And I give y'all shout-outs, too, man. Let me know where y'all tapped in from. Give y'all some shout-outs and stuff like that. But what's good? Like I said, man, it's Friday. You know, good Friday for everybody. Salute to everybody that's on the clock, getting it in, making it do what it do, man. Like I said, get that bag, man. Get off work, man, and enjoy your Friday. Have a safe weekend. What y'all think about the Thunder game yesterday, man? Thunder up, man. We on a roll, man. You know what I'm saying? Putting the brakes, you know what I'm saying? Beat the brakes off the Lakers, you know what I mean? So that's what we doing, Thunder up, man, all that good stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm down at the shop. Like I said, 3D print shop, getting it in, man. Like I said, printing up these Thunder can koozies, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, put your can in there and a can of beer, can of soda, all that good stuff. What up, bro? Skylar, what's good with you, man? Y'all tap in, man. I got these going. All the Thunder colors, you know what I'm saying? I got them in white with the blue, orange with the blue, you know, things like that, you know what I mean? So, you can get 1 for 20, 2 for 30. Man, Skylar, what's good, man? Twisted Concepts Car Club president, you tapped in with us, man. What's up with you, bro? How you doing? I know you out there on that clock getting your grind on, man, and everything like that, so that's what's up. But yeah, man, you know, big ups to the Thunder, man. Like I said, we up 2-0 on the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? We should have no problem going to the next round, you know what I mean? We should not have no problem going to the next round, you know what I'm saying? These guys need to keep up the momentum, man. They need to go on and sweep their ass up out of here, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, who all on the clock, man? Who all making it do what it do, man? What's good? You know what I'm saying? Also, you know what I'm saying, for a good watch party, y'all want to come check out the watch party. It's going down this Saturday at Auntie Soul Food, man, for the OKC LA Lakers, you know what I'm saying, watch party and all that stuff. And Norman wrapping up this week. That's what's up, man. What they got you out there in Norman doing, man? Maybe have you all over the state. Ivory, what's good with you, bro? How you doing? But yeah, so this is what we up to, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, as I've been on a hiatus on the, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that with the radio thing. Like I've been taking care of family business and stuff like that, family emergencies and all that type of stuff. And I've been hella busy. You know what I mean? So, like I said, literally these 3D printers been running. Shit, they've been running for like, I've been having these motherfuckers running for like the last 2.5, 3 weeks. It's like non-stop, literally. When one go off, it's going right back on. So, you know what I mean? I didn't like on these 3D printers. I'm like damn near at like a little over 1,000 hours on them, you know, and things like that, you know what I'm saying, since I've been having them. But this has been like the most, you know what I'm saying, productive, you know, I've been having to use them. You know, I've been using them all the time, but, you know. Oh, down at the health department. What up, bro? Bro, kids tapped in. What's good with you, bro? How you doing? Yeah, I'm back in action, everybody, man. Like I said, we doing what we do, man. Like I said, Friday on the Speed Up Mix Show Radio Podcast Talk Show, man. Get on here and chop it up. Like I said, the city has been, you know, been a wild one. It's been a wild one, man. Shout out to my bro, Slaughter Harris. You know what I'm saying? Corey be cooking down there. You know what I'm saying? Big dog shout out to everybody that, you know, went down there and helped bro out and things like that, man. Like I said, It's crazy that we, you know what I'm saying, having all these type of things going on, you know what I mean? Rizzo, what's good with you, bro, man? Yeah, we need to tap in, man. Like I said, I'm ready. Also, you know what I'm saying, shout out to everybody over at the Don Breeze Entertainment Film, man. Like I said, we got a dope movie coming up. Here we go again, man. It's gonna be really official, something for the city, man, something for the state, not just the city. So that's gonna be really dope, man. Like I said, shout out to my bro Casper. Like I said, it's been a crazy week, man. Kids, what you got up this weekend? What you got up, man? But it's been a crazy weekend, man. Like I said, you know, like some stuff go on. It's crazy how, you know, Oklahoma really shows they ass, man, in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? With the racism thing from both sides. I done seen some ugly posters from both sides. You know what I mean? And then see some ugly posts about a lot of people, man. A lot of rage bait. Like I said, a lot of shit I just don't fall for anyway, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people that do. Like I said, man, you know, you got to understand we're living in these days and times on the internet where you got people that's super brave. You have a lot of brave people on the internet because they feel that you'll never run into them in person, man. And that's the crazy thing. You know, that's why I tell people I stay out the way. I stay clear out the way because I know me. You know what I mean? I get on one real fast, you know what I'm saying? So, but I try to get on her for the most part, man, and I'm on social media, keep it all business and all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's wicked, you know, this social media is a weird-ass place. That's one thing I will say, social media is a weird-ass place, you know what I mean? You know, real weird-ass, you got people that post the weirdest, strangest shit, man, that, you know, very ignorant, Rizzo, very ignorant, you know? You got people that post some of the weirdest shit to try to get reactions, you know what I'm saying? That's just everybody. I'm not just going to point it down just to, you know, the race stuff, because motherfuckers get on here and post some of the dumbest shit just to try to get a reaction. Just some dumb shit. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense, man. You know, you got people on here giving out business advice and all that type of stuff, and they don't own a business. You got people out here trying to give out business advice how to run a business. They ain't even got a business to run. You know what I mean? You know, they ain't even got their name on a lease of a business. You know what I mean? You got people out here trying to give you life advice and stuff like that. They don't have shit going on in life or nothing like that. It's so crazy. You got people on here super tough on the internet, shake you up and dap you out in person. You know what I'm saying? Show love. I mean, it's just this weird shit, man. You know, so I really try to tell people, you know, sometimes you just have to keep scrolling on Facebook, you know what I mean, on these social media platforms. And just, you know, some people say, hey, you can mute them and all this and that. Snooze, no, just delete them. I don't, you know, I don't follow nobody I don't like. And I don't think they should follow me. They don't like me. You get what I'm saying? Duran, you brought the Duran said social media is the home of the brave. boy, my God, boy, you but that is real, you know what I'm saying? So that, hey, that needs to go on the shirt, Duran. Social media is the home of the brave. You know what I mean? It's man, I mean the home of the motherfucking brave. Once again, a big dog salute out to Duran over there, you know what I'm saying, Dream Chasers Custom, man. You know, you need that LS swap. Consoles built, all that type of stuff. Tap in with bro, man. You know what I'm saying? He get you right, man. You know what I mean? So that's you know, so tap in with your people, man. But yeah, man, Oklahoma, like not Oklahoma. I'm just gonna say social media. Social media is, like I said, bro said, land of the brave. You can be all tough, all gay, all G on social media, all you want. You can be all you can be on social media. You know what I'm saying? Log off this motherfucking yang shit. Hey, Rizzo, that as we were saying, masonry, that's some real shit. It would make a motherfucker fall off his square. You know, and I tell people all the time, as a fellow traveling man of the craft, you know what I'm saying, it damn near has got me a few times, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Because I know me, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, it's so much shit and rah-rah that a motherfucker, you know, say to me on this joint, you know what I mean? When I get, you know what I mean? You know, but, you know, like I tell people, I was one of the original Crash Out boys, you know what I mean? So, you know, You know, at this point in age at 49, I ain't trying to be the crash out. You know what I mean? That's why I said some people, I don't follow people that don't like me. I ain't friends with people on social media that don't like me. I don't fuck with people really that don't like me. You know what I mean? Some of them may get a what's up out in public and some of them may not. I just, you know, I don't even play that type of thing, you know, and that's the deal. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you don't fuck with nobody, don't follow them. You know, you go to their page. What up, Tone Rowe? You know, and I mean, but we living in times where people do that, and that is really weird to me. And that's like some, you know, people that, you know, that don't fuck with you, that don't like you and all that type of stuff, but follow you on everything and all that extra shit and all that. That, you know, those are, you know, those are some stalkers. Those are the stands. Jolie, what's up? Those are the stands, man. You know what I mean? I don't see how y'all function with them type of motherfuckers. Motherfuckers I know that's bad for business and bad for image and bad for all that crazy. I do not follow. No. I mean, I tell people, you know, probably could be rich doing business, but I mean, I didn't turn down so many people just doing business with them just because I know they got bad, you know, bad karma. You know what I'm saying? I don't need none of that to come back on me. I need all my blessings. You know what I'm saying? I need all my motherfucking blessings. Like I said, once again, shout out to my bro Corey B. Cooking down there. You know what I'm saying? Corey Slaughter. I mean, like I said, it's crazy what happened with his restaurant, man. Like I said, it's dope to see the community get together. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Nature Boy? How you doing? It's dope to see the community get together, man, and really, you know what I'm saying, look out for each other. Lamar, what's going on with your kinfolk? How you doing? It's dope to see that, man. We need more of that, you know, and things like that. A lot of us do it already, you know what I mean? So a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, I tell people all the time, it's a lot of people that I do deal with on the internet in the personal world. One of them, Duran, you know what I'm saying, is my bro. We really deal with each other in the real world, not just the internet. You know what I mean? It ain't about business all the time. We really, you know, really deal with each other. There's a lot of people that I really deal with, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But sometimes, you know, so we have, you know, we live in these crazy times where as business owners, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's real, Duran. That's some real shit. That's some real shit, you know what I'm saying? That's real shit. You well said. They follow you just to keep tabs. That's why the story views be high and post likes be, yeah. That right there, you know, is you know, big shit, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? So as business owners, you know what I'm saying, we get it the worst, you know what I'm saying? Business owners get it the worst, because like I said, you know, we got a lot of people that troll us just to troll, just to knock us off our square, or just trying to see if they can get us out of character online and all that type of stuff on live and all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. There's been a few times there, you know, since I've been having the CBW media, since I've been having running my company, you know, actually doing it for a living for the last six years, you know what I'm saying, there's been a couple times where motherfuckers and got me, you know what I'm saying, you know, out of character. I'm like, damn, man, let me chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's like now we living in a rampant time now where people are really trolling the business owners just to see if they can get them out of characters, just to see if they can get them off their square, just to see if they can, you know, raise a rage out of them. You know what I mean? And that's the shit we got going on now. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard now because, like I say, you know, a lot of business owners, we use social media for networking and promotion and all that type of stuff, you know what I mean? You got people that get on here just that you can post the greatest thing or great thing that's going on. They're going to get on there just to say something negative, you know what I mean? And these be a lot of people that you'll never see in person. That if you do see them in person, they be all Hallmark cards and smiles and shit, shaking hands and shit like they're a politician, you know what I mean? Because they scared they're in front of you. You know, we have to, you know, sometimes look at that shit. That's why I said, you know, I don't even play like I'm cool with motherfuckers I ain't cool with. You know what I mean? I don't do all that. You know what I mean? So, you know, then we got all, you know, the race thing going on. You know, a lot of people, hey man, or, you know, and a lot of people been asking me because I haven't been live. I haven't really said nothing about none of all this shit that's going on. They like, man, do you feel like it's a race war brewing? I'm like, man, that always been brewing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I got a lot of good brothers that, you know what I'm saying, that are not black, that really fuck with me real tough. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? It's all about who you deal with. If you know, that I see people online all the time, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, they rage bait, you know what I'm saying, with the race stuff, you know what I mean? I don't fuck with them in real life, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, I completely deleted them off my list, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that, you know. And you have a few brothers that just try to follow that suit, you know, hey, I support this guy, you know, whatever, this and that, you know, like, no, you know what I mean? But that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like Bro Duran said, you know, social media is the the home of the brave, man. You know what I mean? 'Cause like I said, they get on here, they keyboard warriors. You know what I mean? All kind of crazy stuff. You know, and like I said, we in the business owners, you know, we take the brunt of the abuse. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, man, they really be out here trying to really, you know, you see how they doing with all the restaurants and stuff like that and all the bars and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know, you got people out here just, like I said, and that just, you got people out here just to leave a bad review just to do it. They ain't never ate food at your establishment. Ain't never did business at your establishment. Ain't never, none of that. They just to do it. Because they may know one person that may not like you, so they going to be like, hey, I'm going to join him or her, you know what I'm saying, and just do the same damn thing, you know what I mean? So that's one reason why I tell people I keep, you know, all three of my locations, you know what I'm saying, I keep them really it's exclusive, you know what I'm saying? I don't really do a lot of business with a lot of people. I do business with the people I deal with, you know what I mean? So, you know, when people try, hey, this such person wants something, you know what I mean? I automatically, I ain't gonna even lie, I go, you know, some people, hey, this person needs something done or whatever. I go look at their page, pay attention to what they post. Now, I don't need to do business with that person. Let them go somewhere else to get the same thing done. But I'm not gonna put myself, you know what I'm saying, out there, you know, just to be doing business with something that's gonna be probably problematic on down the line, you know? And that's what we have to do. I know, you know, a lot of people don't be like, hey, we don't want to turn down on money and things like that. But like I said, sometimes all money ain't good money. You know what I mean? That shit can be a fucking headache, you know, dealing with people. You know what I mean? Dealing with people. You can be showing people love on a price. They going to still want love on the love price you're giving them. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. You can be showing them a hookup. You know what I mean? They going to still be wanting a hookup on the hookup price. Like, weird shit. You know what I mean? So it's so crazy. You know, so is this one of them deals where we have to kind of sit down sometimes and be like, man, you know, is it worth it? Is it worth the headache? You know what I mean? And you know, ask yourself that sometimes. Ask yourself something like that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I said, I pay attention to who I network with. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it up, keeping it straight buck with you. I pay attention to who I network with. If motherfuckers network with motherfuckers I don't like, or motherfuckers that's in, I do not. I ain't saying we can't be friends, but hey, I keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm like, why would I network? You know what I'm saying? With somebody that don't really like my people, you know what I'm saying, don't even fuck with my people, you know what I mean, that shows the character of me. I'm not, you know, my character good. Hey, look, what's up, bro, Louise? Old School Players Car Club is in the building. What's good with you, bro? So, you know what I mean, that's how I am, man, you know what I mean? So, you know, I pay attention to that, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to pay attention to who people network with, because they ain't paying attention. Some of the people just networking with them so they can keep tabs on certain individuals, you know what I mean, and things like that. So you have to really pay attention to that type of shit. But a lot of people don't do that. They think, hey, it's all good. You know, no, it's not all good. You know, so I mean, that's just me. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, you know, I'm cool with my clientele and how I do everything, like I said, because I can pick and choose how I move and pick and choose who I want to deal with. You know what I mean, and things like that. So I'm not, you know. So it's just what it is, you know what I mean? But if I know a motherfucker sitting back dealing with people I don't like, no. No. You know what I'm saying? No. You know, I don't need them headaches. You know, so, you know, bad enough we got people trolling you on the race shit. You know, then you have people trolling you on that type of shit. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, like I say, get out here and do business with your fellow Oklahomies, man, you know, and things like that. You got a lot of people. I be having people just be hitting me up when I'm online all the time with a million text messages. But get out here and support your fellow Oklahomies. Like I said, it's Friday, man. It's the weekend coming around, man. Like I said, get out there. If you want some soul food, go over to Auntie Soul Food. Pull up and get some Auntie Soul Food. Pull up over there at Corey B. Cooking, get some good food. Pull up there at the Poke House, get some good food. Like I said, the SA homies, my SA homies, they got new restaurant opening real soon. Dos Cinco's, I think, or something like that. That's opening up real soon. You know what I'm saying? Go check out the SA homies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just, you know, support everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have a real good support system down here in Oklahoma. You know, like I said, you know, I tell people all the time, the blacks and browns really stick together. We really stick together. We do a lot of networking with each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. Good morning, bro, Louise. You know what I mean? That's always a good thing, man. You know, I would love to see everybody network and work together, man, without all the, you know what I'm saying, racial tensions and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, RIP out to the victims out there at the Arcadia incident and all that stuff, man. Like I said, that's a whole nother crazy thing. You know what I mean? You know, you see how that situation brought up all the races and stuff. All, you know, like I said, it's been there. You know what I mean? But like I said, you see how when stuff like that go on, it brings everybody up. Everybody had all these crazy conspiracy theories and all that type of stuff. Like, oh, it's all kind of shit, you know, people flying out of the bush, all that type of stuff, you know what I mean? So it's kind of one of them things, you know, we have to sit back and look. When things like this happen, it's going to really bring out the worst in people. It's going to really bring out the worst in people that you think that was good people, you know what I mean? And all that type of stuff. Like, it's a lot of people out here, and bros, sisters, everybody. I don't see how y'all follow some of these people on here that post a lot of borderline racist shit. They try to stay, you know, I don't see how y'all do that. You know what I mean? I don't see how. I don't see why. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, I done seen some nasty racist stuff from blacks, whites, Mexicans, Indians, all that type of stuff. With stuff going like that, you see the negative side of how a lot of people feel. You know, and that don't mean everybody feels like that. That don't mean everybody thinks like that. So don't ever put everybody in that box just because you see one motherfucker that think crazy and racist and all that type of shit. That don't mean everybody else of their nationality thinks like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really, you know, like I said, I know the people around me. You know what I mean? And things like that. So like I said, I deal with a lot of people. You know, so I know a lot of people, but you know, I know the ones around me that, you know, that don't play those type of games. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Bo. How you doing? So that's the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to really, you know what I mean, start, you know, looking at everybody, paying attention to everybody, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? If you're a business owner, start paying attention to the people you have around you in your business and stuff like that. Pay attention how you engage with a lot of people online and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, you know, my place is a business. You know, my very first place of business, you know, was, you know, been vandalized and all that type of stuff and all that crazy nonsense. Y'all done seen that shit got put on fire and all that crazy shit. You know, my cars and got vandalized and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? And I damn near got off my rocker on that. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I did. You know, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, let me got everything done and worked out and fixed and all that. Hey, let the legal people take care of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's wow. We have to really pay attention. You know what I mean? 'Cause like I said, people now, you know, they you know, if they ain't gonna do nothing to you in person, they gonna attack your business. You know, they gonna, like say, you know, fuck up your business, you know, or try to put out a bad narrative review on your business. You know what I'm saying? So we in them situations where sometimes you're like, damn, my hands are tied. You know what I mean? But you know, of course, we don't have to go clock in and all that, worry about being fired, this and that. But you know, sometimes they can probably detour a handful of people not to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Based off their hatred for you. You know, so we have to look at a lot of shit like that, people. Business owners, entrepreneurs, all that good stuff. People that's starting a business and all that type of stuff. You have to look at that type of shit. Like I said, we're living in some fucked up times, man. You know, it's just gonna get worse before it get better. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna also be able to weed out all the trolls, all the racist people, all the bullshit people, all that type of shit. You know what I mean? When you weed them out, don't let them come back. I don't give a damn how much a motherfucker apologize. Don't let them come back. If they didn't say some fucked up shit about you and all that type of shit, don't let them come back. No, all that. You know, we living in times now where people let a person slap the shit out of them and be friends with them. You know, no, you know, let a person try to tarnish your character and all that type of shit. No, you know, stop, no. Keep it moving. You don't need them as friends. You don't need, need them type of people around you. You know what I mean? Like, that's saving you a headache. That's saving you stressful times, and that's saving you possible jail time if you got to put hands on this motherfucker and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So that look at that for what it is. Take it for what it is. You know, like I said, once again, man, you know what I mean? I understand everybody, you know, we just in an uproar, man. Like I said, hopefully they find the other shooter that was in that Arcadia situation. Like I said, once again, RIP out to them. You know, also, RIP out to the 3 people they found in the apartment that was deceased, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. You know, I knew one of the individuals and things like that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. RIP out to the bro Black. RIP out to the other couple individuals that was there. But yeah, man, it's just wow. It's just wow. You know, Oklahoma, you know, we go viral for the wrong things. We go viral for all the negative shit. We go viral for all the negative shit. You know what I mean? And things like that. You know, yeah, we go viral, with the basketball team and all that. But let's put basketball to the side, the NBA to the side. We go viral for all the wrong fucking shit. All the negative shit. And it's wow. And you know, and everybody doing for clicks and likes and Facebook and social media. We go wrong for all the wrong fucking things. You know what I mean? And it's just, and that's just everybody as the state as a whole, you know what I mean? And things like that. Like I said, it's just, it's just wow. I mean, it's just like I say, it's crazy to see, I got people all over the world, people I was stationed with and all that type of stuff, man. And, it's crazy. They be like, man, what's going on in your damn home state? Like, crazy shit. That'd be my reply. Crazy shit on the phone. You know what I mean? And that is just, it's wild, man. It is wild. Like I said, it's Friday. I hope everybody have a blessed Friday and a safe Friday. If you get out in traffic, be safe, drive safe. We don't want to come back no Mondays and seeing a bunch of RIPs. We don't want to come back to work Mondays seeing a bunch of people on the Just Busted page. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to see none of that. You know what I mean? That's just, have fun, man, and and stay out the fucking way, and keep your eyes and ears, open, man, and and pay attention to the shit that's going on around you. And things like that. And once again, also, if you gotta go anywhere and you gotta take your gun, you don't need to be there. I'm a firm believer in that. If I gotta go somewhere and I gotta feel like I'm unsafe and I've gotta take my gun because there may be some crazy ish that pops off, you don't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? And things like, you don't need to be there. And that's what people fail to realize. And I understand everybody want to be out in the mix and kicking it and all that type of stuff. But if you pull up and you see the vibe is not vibing and you need to go grab your handle, it's time to go home. Just go home. Or go somewhere else. You know what I mean? And that's just being real. And that'd be the first thing, people always say when stuff going like, man, I had a funny feeling. Like, if you got that funny feeling, keep it pushing. Don't go on and leave. Go on and go. You don't need to be there. Point blank. Follow your first notion. That's being real. You know what I mean? If if you're around people and you got a bad vibe for them and they supposed to be your homies and friends and all that type, keep move around to the next move on around. You know what I mean? Also, before I even go any farther, some big dog salute to everybody that came out to my Uncle Tombo's final lap cruise that we did, the I Am Legend cruise we did for RIP out to him. Oklahoma to Cali, worldwide legend, man. Like I said, I got more footage coming as well. They'll be uploading throughout the day. Bro Reeves, got some footage coming, a lot of footage coming as well as pictures. We got some live footage, call for the homie Takeoff performing live, and stuff like that. But yeah, man, salute to everybody that came out there, man. That was like, Unc set the record for being, in the Guinness Book of World Records, man. First African-American to go over 200 miles per hour on a bike down the track. He also set another record. That was the biggest cruise, biggest post-up, meet-up cruise in Oklahoma history. You know what I'm saying? So, salute to everybody that pulled up, everybody that came out, everybody that showed love, all that type of stuff and everything like that. Big dog salute to everybody that came out and showed love to OG Uncle Tombo. Uncle Tombo, touched a lot of people, man, from all walks of life and all that type of stuff. All that, and that showed right there, you see all that, you see the what up, David Tyree? You see all the, all the videos and stuff like that. You see it was just people from all walks of life. You see what I'm saying? People from all walks of life, you know what I mean? So, that's what it's about, man, you know what I mean? And, like I said, when people from all walks of life love you, man, hey, you done did something positive in life, you know what I mean? That's just keeping it above. Like I said, Unc showed me a lot, man. He put me on the game a lot, you know what I'm saying? And, that's what I said, man. It's just one of them things we losing a lot of good people, man. Like I said, Craig Akey, what's going on? Empire Tattoos and checked in. We're losing a lot of good people, man. RIP out to bro Chili. You know what I'm saying? Fat Cat. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of people, man. We just losing a lot of people, man. We losing a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? With all the craziness going on in the world, we're losing a lot of good people. You know what I mean? Love on your people while they here. You know what I mean? If squash whatever beef you got with people nowadays. You know what I mean? Because you ain't no telling when they gone. You know, you just it's wild. You know what I mean? And we just losing good people. You know, it's like when you wake up, you like look at the timeline. Dang, who didn't pass? You know what I mean? You wake up again, who didn't pass? You know what I mean? It's like, damn, like fuck, man. There's so many fucking people. You know that that's passing away. You know what I mean? We done lost like so many people, like within this month. We like 8 days into this month, not a week into this month, we done lost a lot of people. You know what I mean? Been a lot of people shot. 20 some people like got shot at the Arcadia thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, it's fucked up shit going on. All the time, damn near every day. And then on the weekends, you be like, man, the weekend's gonna be hot. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, that's why I say I stay out of the mix. You catch me at the watch parties and stuff. That's about it. You know what I mean? Outside of that, I'm home, I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling with my family, or I go chill and kick it with my twin sister, and, I stay out the fucking way, you know what I mean? And I get out, film a few car things here and there, you know what I'm saying? I go fuck with who fuck with me, you know what I mean? I'm out the way, you know what I mean? You catch me at the hustle, you know what I mean? Even when I ain't at the hustle, at the 3D print shops or the banner shop, or whatever location I'm at, at that time, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be gone from here. Like I said, these 3D printers been going for like 70, 80 hours, I think, you know what I'm saying? So they'll be running all the way through Sunday, you know what I mean? And, so I mean, I stay out the fucking way. So I won't even be in the way. I don't even, I'm like Ghost off the movie Power, off the show Power. You just don't see me, I'm just here, you know what I mean? That just be the thing. I don't, no. Let me stay the fuck out the way, man. Let me stay out the way, man, so I won't be in the way. Let me stay out the way. I don't even want to be around people that don't like me, because guess what? I don't need to be around them because I don't like them either. Let me stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? Let me stay out the way. Let me do my thing. Let me just get on my grizzly. You know what I mean? That's what I told myself, when I retired, actually, saying from the work life, was able to retire after doing them 20 years at that gig, we was able to hang it up. I'm like, man, I'm going to put that same effort and time into my business. I'm going to put that same hard work and grind into my shit and just stay the fuck out the way. And people like, man, one of my partners say, man, you did that 20 years at that gig, you never got rolled up, you never had no issues, nothing like that. I said, man, I came to work, made a check, and got the fuck home. That's it. You know what I mean? Same thing without, at 10 years at the hospital. I only had 3 jobs in my life, you know what I'm saying? The military job, the hospital job, in advance. That's been on the jobs I had, you know what I mean? I just never been a career job hopper, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, people like, man, I'm like, I stayed low key, stayed out the way, and got the fuck home, made my check. That was it. I didn't come to the workplace to make friends and all that type of shit. Cause I know, hey, it ain't a lot of fucking friends. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of fucking solid people out here. You know what I mean? So I done met fucked up people working for the military. I done met fucked up people working in the hospital field. I met fucked up people working at event. All that shit. I didn't, all that. I met a lot of fucked up people. You know what I mean? But they, I just never had them issues with them type of peoples, because they just didn't. That motherfucker don't play. You know what I mean? Hell no, shit. I didn't play that shit at all. I didn't do all that none of that shit. No, we ain't even playing with you like that. Let me get my paycheck, get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? And like I said, that's keeping it a buck. So it's we living in fucked up times, people. Like I said, we're living in fucked up times. Be safe out here, like JoJo said, man. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, man. Like I said, sometimes you gotta keep your burners on you, man. And things like you don't know what can pop off. So that's kind of one of them things you're gonna have to keep someone, but at the same time, if you don't go nowhere where you gotta look over your shoulders. You know what I mean? All that type of stuff. So you just ain't gonna catch me in fucked up situations and fucked up places that I know I ain't don't need to be at. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like I say, that's like with them kids out there at the lake. You know what I mean? None of them should have been out there. You know what I mean? Those are kids. What is 30-year-olds hanging out with 16-year-olds. You know what I mean? I get people, you know, no, I just don't know. They shouldn't have been out there. It's like that old, remember that thing on the news back in the days on the news? Used to sit back and say, it's 10 o'clock, do you know where your kids is at? They don't even play that shit no more. I know y'all remember that on the news. 10 o'clock will come on, you know, 10 o'clock. The news come on, it's 10 o'clock, do you know where your kids is at? They do not even play that no more. They don't even advertise that no more. They don't even, you know, because nowadays people don't know where the fuck their kids is at. You know what I mean? And it is keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? And that was a prime example of that. You know what I mean? So that situation out there, there's been plenty of other situations. You know what I mean? So it's just like, no. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, we, you know, as fathers, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, you know what I mean? We got to show these kids is more to life than some of the shit they're involved in, you know? And, you know, we have to show them that it's more in life than some of the shit that's out there. You know, you know, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, we got to stop partying and kicking with your fucking kids. You know, what up, Sis Solo? You know, you got to be, you know, I mean, I get everybody want to be their kids' friends. Shit. Be their parent first. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never smoked weed with my mom. You know what I'm saying? I never drunk with my mom. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. That's just, you know, RIP. I just, you know, I couldn't do it. Even though when I was growing, I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just, even when I'm around my twin sister, I don't really try to drink or do anything around. I mean, cause that's just, you know, I mean, that's just me. You know what I mean? But, you know, nowadays we got parents that party with their kids, kicking with their kids, getting high with their kids. They out here fucking with their kids, all kind of shit. You know what I mean? All kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes out here raising the kids, they sons and all that type of stuff. The sons of gangbangers like them. Like, hey, you know, if you raise your kid to be a gangbanger like how you was, you already failed. You know what I'm saying? And you already failed. If you a gangster, gangbanger, whatever, you know, I tell you, I don't knock nobody. Like I said, you know, I was on the side of the tracks too, so I'm not knocking nobody. But, you know, I'd be damned if my son gonna follow what. No, I ain't even on that time. You know, that time for me was gone when I was 21, when I was on that bird headed to Germany. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. That was it for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I still say what up to the homies, but yeah, that was it for me. As far as, you know, I couldn't tell you what's going on the block. I've been so far away from that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, since what? I'm 49 now. You know, I got away from that shit when I was 21. You know what I mean? I couldn't even tell you who beefing with who. Not my concern at all. It's not my concern at all. But if you actually out here still active in the streets and raising your son and they following you doing the same thing, you already failed. Keep it a buck. You already failed. You already failed. You already failed. Larry Low Key, what's good with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? You already failed. If your kid, your son is following you in your same footsteps, you already failed. Point blank. There's nothing cool about that shit. You already failed. And I know a lot of motherfuckers like that. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And the crazy part, having preaching that bullshit, they wasn't even the fish around here in the street. They wasn't really in traffic. I tell people all the time, you know, back then, like, so when I left and, you know, my homeboy Jesse, my homeboy Ronnie Tinsel, there's a lot of people that was around, you know what I mean? A lot of people y'all be seeing, they wasn't out there like that. You know what I mean? I just, you know, but, you know what I mean? Like I said, the internet, they could make themselves feel like they was, you know, and that's cool. I just don't let this shit slide with me, you know? But like I said, if your son, even if your daughter following your, you know, like ladies, your daughter's following your footsteps doing the same ratchet that shit, you fail too. You fail. Sorry. Fail. You know what I mean? Only thing my son need to pull up and be like, hey, you know, Pops, I'm gonna be in the same fraternity as you. That's what he need. You know, that's good. I don't, you know, no, you don't need, you know, be joining no street shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, as a parent, you did all that gang and street shit, so the kids don't have to do that shit. You can tell them the pitfalls of that. So that's where people be feeling that. They ain't gonna tell them, hey, you know, this happens, shootings happen, people get killed, people get shot, this and all that type of shit. The whole 9 yards. They don't tell you that. You know what I mean? So, you know, when shit happen, next thing you know, they find out they, you know, like matter of fact, with the kid that just shot up the park, you know what I'm saying? You seen everybody posting, you know, All of a sudden, oh, he's a great kid, you know, great athlete, all this type of shit. Well, shit, if he was sober, he should have been in college somewhere playing football. You know, he lost track somewhere. And that's the problem. You know, our youth is losing track somewhere. And it used to be older people that's leading them down the wrong track. So that's what they following them half the time. You know what I mean? And, just, and you got to understand the killers nowadays, the shooters nowadays, they're younger. They're kids now. I ain't saying that shit didn't happen when we was back in our days, but the killers now and the mass shooters now and all that type of shit, whites, blacks, everything, Mexican, Chinese, everything, all that shit, they young now. They kids. They young. You see what I'm saying? They young. You know, and things like that. You know, people, then we touch on the racism shit. You know what I'm saying? Racism shit, that come from home. That come from home. So when people like, oh my God, my kid don't, you know, I didn't think he ever know. Y'all knew him, he or she thinks like that, because guess what? They learned it from y'all. You know what I'm saying? Man, hey, Larry, that's all I be doing, bro. I'm chilling. I be chilling. You know what I'm saying? My you know, my youngest niece, she's grown. You know, she turns 25, so I'm taking her out to eat, enjoy her birthday. I'm chilling. I don't, you know. That's it. That's all I do. You know, I gotta go about my business after that. You know, just go chill. I don't need to be in the big somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You catch me at the watch party at Auntie Soul Food. You know what I'm saying? Keeping with my sister Destiny, my bro Smoke. I stay out the way. I don't know. I don't need to be in the way. I don't need to be in the way. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, I don't. You know, when it comes to business, I tell people all the time. People be mad because everybody want the whole piece of the pie. No, I don't even want a piece of the pie. Just give me my slice and I keep it moving. I just want a little slice of the pie. I keep it moving. Let me make my little 1, 2s, and fews. Let me keep it moving. I don't need the whole pie. When you get in the whole pie, that comes with a whole lot of problems. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't need none of that. You know what I mean? I don't need none of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me get by and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Let me get by and keep it moving. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of shit going on around me. I ain't got motherfucking, you know, chicks wilding out, kicking the door. I ain't got none of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got, you know, enemies, none. I ain't got to look over my shoulders, none of that. No, I stay out the way. That's it. I stay out the way. I don't do nothing. I stay out the way. You know what I mean? I don't do nothing unless I have to do something. You know what I mean? If my safe got to come open, that means it's something bad that happened. When I got to open the safe, that means it ain't safe no more. When I got that safe, ain't you know, that's what I tell people. You know, that's stay out the way, man. You ain't got to be out in the mix all the time. Stay out the fucking way. You know what I mean? Stay out the fucking way. You know, that's just keeping it real. Stay out the way, man. Stay out the way. Go make you some money. Go have a good time. You know, get back home. Whatever. Go kick it with your chick. You know. Oh, yeah, you got to. You got to, bro, because you never know. You know, we living in times you never know. You know what I mean? People just, you know, you never know. We living in times where, you know, like I said, you know, people can be on, like when they hit the Charlie Kirk dude, you know, they weren't expecting that shit to fly and hit him in the neck. You know what I mean? You never know who out there on sniper mode and et cetera, et cetera. You never know. That's why I just stay out the fucking way. I don't want to have to get back in that zone. You know, I tell people about that, you know, that just, you know, I don't know, you know, it's just, man, we living in crazy times. We living in some fucking crazy times. You know, I mean, you can be walking in the store shopping with your family. You know, we got motherfuckers race baiting. You got the one dude, the one white dude, he walking around, Chud the Builder. He's walking around just calling motherfucking niggas while they on camera. No, you know, like all that. No, you know what I mean? You got weird motherfuckers now that you know, motherfuckers just walk. You can be, like I said, in the store shopping, and motherfuckers be in there, they don't like you because you black. Hey, boom, want to start trying to shoot. Oh, this, you gotta keep it on you all the time. It's crazy. I mean, even at the movies and shit like that, you know what I mean? So you gotta keep something on at the movie. They done been lighting motherfuckers up at the movie over the years. You know what I'm saying? Let me shit. You know, you never know. These are times we're living in because that's what motherfuckers see. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what motherfuckers doing. These killings are happening in public areas with a lot of people, and the motherfuckers ain't even hitting the people they need to hit. So if it's on some racism shit, most of them is out just to shoot you, whatever they got going on. Or, you know, if it's on some enemigos type shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, you on some gang shit or whatever, you know, halftime when the gang shootings happen, they ain't even hitting the motherfucker they need to hit. That motherfucker's still walking. They didn't hit a bunch of innocent people. That's when I posted that video yesterday, you know what I'm saying? You know, things like them. Everybody, you know, I want to hear all that. Free the homie. Free the homie. Free the homie. He ain't did nothing. No, the homie did. He shot up a park. He unalived people, injured a lot of people. No, don't free the homie. Keep the fucking homie locked the fuck up. And if you want to free him so bad, you go and post the motherfucking bond. Like I said, no, I don't want to hear all that free the homies. Free the homies. No. Motherfucker that shot up a whole motherfucking park. That shot up innocent people. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers running around here doing this and that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you got, the racist people out here shooting up innocent people. Dealing with, you know, the crazy part, when they catch the gang members that be shooting up the motherfuckers and killing motherfuckers, and they catch the racist people be shooting up, killing them up. First thing they come about, all these people got mental issues. No, they ain't got no fucking mental issues. They know how to pull a motherfucking gun. They ain't got no mental issues. You pull a motherfucking gun, ain't nothing, shit. You shooting it, you ain't got no mental issues. But that's the first thing that this new generation play. Oh, I'm emotional. No. That it means you go kill people? Fuck, no. And that's just the crazy shit, man. No, that's, and that's how a lot of these people getting off. Oh, you know, Ira, what's going on with you, bro? You know, that's how motherfuckers getting off. Oh, you know, that, you know, everybody want to talk about how people are good kids. They was good. No, you know, some of the people never been good people. You know what I mean? You have to understand that. You know what I mean? So people got to stop saying that free the homie shit when they unlive innocent people. Stop saying that type of, you know how stupid you sound when you say shit like that? Free the fucking homie. They didn't unalive all kind of innocent people and shot all kind of innocent people. But it's free the homie. Then y'all get on them damn OKC jailbirds pages. Take it easy on the kinfolk. Take it easy. No, what the fuck? They didn't kill somebody. They didn't kill the innocent people. But take it easy. Did they take it easy on the people? Anyway, man. That, you know, I haven't been on here, like I said, in a minute. You know what I mean? I don't use this platform. I try to use the platform to keep positive shit going. You know, that's just me. I'm in a different place in life. You know what I mean? Been in a different place in life. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like I said, I try to stay out of the way of any negativity. You know, anything that's gonna bring me out of character. You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, I love people. I'm a people person, man. You know what I'm saying? We live in times now where you can't be a people person. They don't want you to be a people person. You know what I mean? I remember back in my wild out days, you know, people like, boy, you was a modern day Suge Knight. You was wild back then, you know, and I tell people all the time, you know, I was just that menace, you know what I mean? But, you know, at the same time, though, you know, we grow up, we live, we learn, we get older, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, stuff like that, you know, we become fathers, all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people been fathers way before I was, you know, mine's 6, you know what I mean? So I just, you know, started off late, but at the same time, you know what I mean? I don't want to, be around the shit, you know, I put it like this, I don't want to be around the shit I had to grow up to be around. You see what I'm saying? That's real talk, D'Angelo. I mean, that's real, you know. And I like saying that, I tell people all the time, at 49, I'm still nice. You know, I'm still nice with the hands. I'm even more dangerous with the pistol, though, too. You know what I mean? But I tell people all the time, you know, I'm still nice. I mean, that was, you know, like with my brother, us, you know, we grew up doing the Golden Gloves and shit. That's what we, you know what I mean? And I you know, I'm, you know, I just try to, you know, it's, you know, I just can't, you know, like I said, it just, when I came back home, you know what I'm saying, back to the United States and stuff like that, or just you know, came back to Oklahoma in general, you know, I'm like, man, I didn't come back home to be doing the same thing I was doing when I left this motherfucker at 21. And I've been back home, you know, a little bit over, you know what I'm saying, you know, 12 years. A lot of people are like, man, I wasn't even living. I was, you know, stationed at VA. A lot of people, when they was catching me here, I was just in and out, you know what I mean? And it's here to visit, you know what I mean? So, but like I said, I just couldn't, you know, if you waking up and you still in the same position you was, fuck it, if you're 49, 50, whatever, you waking up and you still in the same position you was in life when you was 21, something wrong. You need to have a self-reality check. You need to have a self-intervention. All that type of shit. You know what I mean? You need to have that. You need to have that personal talk with yourself. There ain't no way in motherfucking hell you should be in the same situation at 21 to 50. No way in hell. No way in hell. You know what I'm saying? No way in hell. You know what I mean? So, we have to, wake up, do better. You know what I'm saying? Love on the people that love on you, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to be in chaos all the time. You know what I mean? And I tell people, and I was one of them chaotic people. Just always ready to fight and drop a dime. I still have to catch myself. That's why I be to myself, because I'm like, man, cause I know people trigger me. I'm like, I'm on their ass fast. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, let me just stay to myself. You know what I mean? I come out when I come out and pop out when I pop out. Say what's up to people when they see me. You know what I mean? And that's it. I know me. You know what I'm saying? I know me. You know what I mean? And there's too many people out there with the gunplay. That stuff don't scare me. I've been hit once. You know what I mean? That ain't no. My mama that got shot. My brother that got shot. Like a lot of people. You know what I mean? And that's why I said it's kind of one of them things. You know what I mean? It just, it's. I don't. I'm cool on that. You know what I mean? I just want to, live life, enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Live life and don't let life live me. That's what a lot of people should do now. Live life and don't let life live you. You know what I'm saying? Live your life how you want to live it. Don't live it to how you want to impress somebody else, because everybody else don't give a fuck about you. You may think they do, but they don't give a fuck about you. Some go on, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they know where to be seen. You know what I mean? They know where to be seen. So, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, like I said, I've been on her rant for about an hour. Like I said, I haven't been online in a while. I love all y'all. You know what I mean? I just been, chilling to myself. You know what I mean? And just handling, business been keeping me busy. So, I pop out with the money soon. You know what I said? I'll probably catch me in traffic here and there. But like I said, I just fuck with the people that fuck with me, man. You know what I mean? If, y'all fuck with my events, I fuck with you. If you come to my events, I come to your shit. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. If you don't speak to me in public, I don't speak to you. That's just how I am, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just don't have time in my life for chaotic situations and chaotic people and all that type of shit, man. Like I said, that's just, like I said, love on people that love on you, man. You know what I mean? Guide your kids in the best situation that you can, even the grown kids, because sometimes they can be grown and still get off track. You know what I'm saying? Try to guide them in the best situation as possible. You know what I mean? We all can live, you know what I'm saying, in one place at the same time, man. Like I said, all my black people, all my white people, Mexicans, Indians, Chinese, everybody, Asians, everybody, natives, you know what I'm saying? Let's love each other, you know what I'm saying? And, less racism, less hate. You know what I mean? And that, like I said, either way it goes, we got to stop the cycle. You know what I mean? Like I said, the cycle don't stop. Guess what? Our kids going to continue to go through this. And they kids going to, you know what I mean? We ain't going to never be able to stop it. But we can't slow it down. You see what I'm saying? There's always going to be motherfuckers that's going to push that agenda, because guess what? They know they can. You had a freedom of speech, in your own place of home. You know what I mean? So, so it's just wicked, man. Like I said, it's Friday, people. A lot of y'all off work already. A lot of y'all about to get off work. Be safe, be productive, be positive. Like I said, Go Thunder. Like I said, we're going to be doing a watch party at Auntie Soul Food, man, on Saturday at 7:30. Like I said, there's a lot of spots having watch parties. Go check them out. Hit up the Elmers, hit up the Sunny Bees, hit up all the spots, whatever you choose to hit up, you know what I'm saying? Show support to all your fellow Oklahomies that's out here, this business entrepreneurs and all that type of stuff, man. Quit doing all that damn hating on the business entrepreneurs and business owners out here in Oklahoma, man. You're just keeping it a buck, man. And I'm about to log off. Y'all know what it is. CBW Media in the building, man. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. Make sure y'all follow me on my platforms. And like I said, I'll be back on Monday. I'm back doing what I do. Like I said, I had to take a hiatus because I had to take care of family stuff, family emergencies and all that type of stuff. Had a lot of shit going on. Was so damn busy where I wasn't even able to get online, so y'all know what it is. I'm out. Peace. Bang.